Joining me tonight to go deeper on this is Marni Goldman. She's a life coach and mental health advocate based in Miami, Florida, and she's had real life, firsthand experience coping with multi-generational trauma and trying to help other people with that. Marni, it's good to have you here. So when someone has experienced trauma, especially this multi-generational trauma, it can feel inescapable. I am stuck. There is no other way. But you've been through it yourself. What do you say to clients when they're in that situation?
You know, it's interesting. I didn't know I had anything wrong with me until I was 47 years old. I know. I went basically my entire life thinking I was crazy, lazy, stupid, all of those things. So once I became aware of what was going on within me and I went to a doctor and I reached out, that is first and foremost. When I felt a little bit, everybody else is getting through life and navigating a little bit easier. Why is it so difficult for me? And I reached out to a doctor and I was diagnosed with a host of disorders. Didn't change who I was. The acceptance and awareness helped me navigate through life.
That is so interesting what you say. You thought, I'm crazy, I'm lazy, and it was all your fault. And, you know, in mental health, feeling a sense of empowerment and being able to identify what's really going on, that's so crucial. So I know you say framing is also really significant. And instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You ask,
what am I learning from this? What am I learning from this? And that is when I realized I didn't come this far to just come this far. And I knew I had a purpose, and I took my broken and turned it into beautiful. And I know by opening up, I have saved lives or let somebody else out there know, wait, I'm not alone. I'm not crazy either. So it is the best blessing in disguise that could have happened.
Where does someone even begin if they feel like my life is too messy, I am too broken? What is the first step?
Right now, there's 988. It's the National Suicide Crisis Hotline. It's only been active 1 month. They want people to use that as like they would 911 for, God forbid, fire and everything. In the 1 month it launched, they have saved 150,000 lives. That less than 1% needed a mobile crisis unit. That it basically came down to, statistic-wise, somebody needed someone to just listen to them. Just a voice is all they needed. And it is amazing how having that other person on the other end saved 150,000 lives. I am so blessed it's there, but so sad, statistic-wise, it's so high.
You survived a harrowing childhood. We can't even get into all of it. And then eventually, as you said, you got several diagnoses yourself: ADHD, bipolar 2, borderline personality disorder. And I mean, some of those are difficult, of course, to deal with, also to treat. Some of my friends are clinical psychologists, and those can be really tricky disorders to treat. So how has your experience through all of this in therapy, in life, how's that informed your approach?
Well, at first, learning that it was like a Claritin commercial, you know, when it's all foggy, and then my life opened up when I took medication for me. And I got a little bit angry. What could have my life been? And it intensified. But through talking to my therapist, she said, you know what, maybe it was a good thing, because I would have been maybe, it didn't prevent me knowing the traumas. I was able to get to where I was, and I know I was at a place where I was meant to be when I found out what was wrong with me. But if I didn't, it was actually Kate Spade, when I heard she died of suicide, that right there said, you know what, somebody of that eliteness, I think there's something wrong with me as well. And I pulled myself together and started my journey.
The thing I love hearing you talk is I hear some pride in your voice, and I think that's wonderful.
Oh, thank you. You know, I am a human miracle. I believe I was put here on this earth. Somebody in the universe said, you know what, you take all of this for the team. You take all of these disorders and dysfunction, and one day you're going to share your story when the world truly needs to hear it, which is right now. So I feel the most blessed person. When people read my story, it's sad, but it's a blessing in disguise.
Marni Goldman, thank you for being generous enough and brave enough to share your story with so many, your clients, of course, but the world as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much.